Hola mi gente, Joe Barreto back with you at the Credit Card Connection. I'm glad you can join me. So is it worth paying high annual fees for credit cards? Are the benefits worth it? The answer I'm going to give you might surprise you. But if you'd like to find out more about points, miles, credit cards, finance tips, and the like, please do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button as it really does help the channel. It helps support this so I can get it out to more people. I really appreciate that. Let's get into it. Now, last weekend, I was at a barbecue for a mini reunion of former students of mine from Manhattan Center, class of 1999 in Long Island. Thanks, Carlos and Crystal, for the invite. I really appreciate it. And as we were talking about life, and now some of them in their 40s and travel and this and that, of course, I was asked about credit cards and what I would do and what I would use and which cards do I have and so on. Now, the question I got asked the most was, Yo B, is it worth paying the $6.95 for the American Express Platinum or the $3.95 for the Capital One Venture X? And basically I told them, well, look, it all depends. Right now, my fees total for the 17 cards that I have open, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this right, $1,844 a year. 1844, and that's across different issuers, the most being American Express because they have the highest charges for these fees. And I feel I get a lot of value from them for paying that amount of money. So much so that since December 2022, when I first opened up the Platinum card, and I started accumulating points in January, right now I'm looking up this just to make sure I give you the right amount. I've earned to date 1.75 million points. 1.75 million points, okay? Now, the average points, people have different calculations depending on the company that's reviewing them, depending on the magazine article you read, depending on, just people's valuations. So, for instance, the average calculations from the Points Guy and Awards Wallet estimate the cash value that I've received for those 1.75 million points to be $27,000 if I just take them out for cash, okay? So $27,000 for cash if I just use it for that, and that's over the course of just the past 9 months. So now if you transfer them out, like we always say, you get a lot more bang for your buck by transferring them out to travel partners, airlines, hotels, and so on. You can get 2 to even 4 times the amount on the low end. Some people have even gotten 5 times the amount. So if you think about it, paying $1844 a year, I right now have about $27,000 worth in terms of cash if I would have cashed them out. But if I transfer them out to the travel partners, we're looking at over $100,000 worth of travel, okay? Which is a heck of a lot. So it pales in comparison to the $1844 I'm paying a year for these cards. Now, that works for me. Right now, I retired. Travel is what's in my plans for the future. I want to show people how to do things the right way. Like I've said many times on this channel, growing up, always taught that credit was evil. So now that I'm learning and in this space, I want to make sure that I can take advantage of this space. So you also have to understand that a lot of these credit cards, the ones with the fees, tend to have the better travel perks, okay? So by the more that you pay, the more elite status, the more multipliers for your purchases, the more categories they cover, and so on. So, your mileage, like they say, is going to vary. But for me right now, it's worth it for me to pay $1844. Now, it also depends on your lifestyle. If you're not traveling, there's no reason for you to have 17 different cards just to say you have 17 cards, okay? If you're not one that likes to, go out of the country or to do different things that are just, let's say, extravagant or out of your comfort zone, don't do it. I'm being real serious. You can do a heck of a lot with a hell of a lot less just, by looking to see where's the best way to use your cards, what you utilize more a month, and so on. So again, I'm going to go over just some things that these fees do bring you and that have value for me, okay? So, for instance, if I have the platinum or the gold card, these are the two biggest cards most people talk about, most people post about, most people that are YouTube creators discuss this and they have the most comments on, right? So for the platinum card, I pay $695 a year. Out of that $695 a year, I get the $189 a year automatically for clear credit, which helped me tremendously going to Europe this year, going through the airport at Newark. Okay, so that was huge. I get the digital entertainment, which covers my Sirius XM, Peacock, Disney, things like that, covered. $240 for that. I get $240 a year in Uber credit. And I've been using it because I've been traveling a lot more within the city here, in the tri-state. And when I went away, God knows I spent a lot on Uber. So that came in super handy. Now, Walmart Plus, I don't shop at Walmart. However, I do use their ability to go to their gas stations in Sam's Club or Walmart gas stations and get a discount every time I use their app and I use the phone to tap to pay on the screen at the gas stations, 10 cents off each gallon. That's huge. I get Paramount Plus because of it. That's another savings in my pocket. The other ones are like you get the top tier statuses. Marriott Hotel Gold, Hilton Hotel Gold, and Presidential Circle status at Hertz, Elite status at Avis and National. For instance, last June I went to Florida. I paid for a Mazda 3 and I got a 2023 Camaro convertible for the same price. Okay? So just to give you an example of what paying more for a higher annual fee gets you. Now, not everybody wants to do that or needs to do that. Okay? But I'm at that point in my life at 56 that I don't want to be Skechers comfortable yet, but I want to be, comfortable. I want to be able to just do what I want to do when I want to do it and in the best possible way. And this is one of the ways that I'm learning how to do it. To be honest with you, and I'm going to shout him out now, but the first person I ever met that did this before it was a thing was my friend and former boss, my principal, Steve Askenazi, who used to tell me all the time he put everything on his American Airlines credit card because then he could travel for free. And he just went to Aruba again for his birthday 2 weeks ago. All right. So Steve, thank you and shout out to you because, you were an inspiration for this, God knows. So those are the things that I feel have that value. Okay. Again, not everybody feels the same way. Now, at the airport, I didn't get to use the lounges, as I told you in some other videos a couple of weeks ago. But my sister, my brother-in-law, my son, they were all able to use it multiple times and bring people in, especially when they were in Europe. So that's huge, okay? If you're stuck, my sister got canceled twice on her flights. Huge to be able to chill, have a nice place to sit, eat, drink, and so on. So that's a no-brainer for me. So again, that's some of the things that paying for a higher annual fee card get you. Now, here's a place where I think it might not. Now, there's a lot of cards out there that I want to get. Still in pop-up jail with Amex. Thank you, Amex. Whatever. But the Delta Airlines Reserve card is their top tier card. It's $550 a year. It gives you all the perks. It gives you the lounge access. It gives you, status with the airline and all this other stuff. However, where I live, I fly out of Newark. That's not a hub for Delta. Okay? And to be honest with you, I think I flew Delta once in the last 20 years. So for me to go out and just say, yo, I'm balling out, I got the Delta Reserve card for $550, gonna bring me zero value. It may bring some other people value that use Delta all the time or that they have it as their hub in the airport where they are, but not for me. So although it would be nice to say, hey, if I decide to fly Delta, I'm going to get some sort of status and, they're going to treat me a little better. I might get an upgrade, but $550 a year for that for me just doesn't make sense. What I might do, if I decide to tip my toes into the Delta Airlines water, get the gold card that they have for $99. See if I like their service. See if I like their airlines. $99, not a big deal. $550's, a clubbing in the head. So, again, For me, that's where I can see putting all that money out just to say I did it doesn't make any sense. Now, for people that in this credit card space that do accelerated applications, okay, velocity, as they say, you could have 10, 15, 20, 25 cards to maximize the value per card. That's what we try to do. That's what we try to show. That's what we try to teach. That's what we try to explain, is that by being able to maneuver these cards, use them wisely, pay your bills off in time. But like I said, there's going to be months and times in your life when you can't do it, and you shouldn't be all upset and in your feelings about it. That's called life. But the goal is to be able to maximize, use your cards the right way, and have them work for you and not the other way around. So that's how we try to calculate which cards we use, when we use them, should we keep them, should we close them, and so on. Now, I'm going to tell you up front what I would suggest for most people, maybe 90% of you out there, okay, that are still young, still grinding, still working hard, not able to take the time off like I have, that every day is Saturday for me. Shout out to the Saturday boys out there. You should just have a good core set of cards. And that could be across any issuer. Now, you're going to say, yeah, you're an Amex fanboy. But like I've said before, I've got like 6 Chase cards as well. So I would suggest that you look and see where you do most of your spending a month. Let that be your guide. If most of your spending is restaurants and supermarket shopping and grocery shopping, and you wanted an Amex card, go for the Amex Gold. It's a no-brainer. But in the same breath, if you like Chase and you have a Freedom Flex already or a Freedom Unlimited, it would be, you have to go get the Sapphire Preferred for $95 because that gives you, 3 times on dining purchases, dining out and takeout. And it'll give you 3 times on online grocery shopping, which is the kind of it's the X on that one. But again, it's close enough to the Amex, let's say, which most people go to as their food and grocery shopping card, that the 95 would be justified because you're not paying for the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited. They have 0 annual fees. So I think, once you kind of go through this process to see where you're at, what you want to do, plan it out, discuss it with your significant other, because you might be able to even add them as authorized users to get more bang for your buck. Let them accumulate points with you. You'll see those points, shoot up, and then you'll be able to use them for that aspirational travel in the future. You'll be able to do the things you want to do. Or if your team cash back, use it to help pay off that credit card statement or, help put some extra money in your pocket. So, by nature, going back, the cashback cards, a lot of them have very low or no annual fees. A lot of them will give you a 0% interest APR for 12, 15, even 18 months, even on balance transfers. So should you, going back to the top, should you pay $695 for the Platinum, $550 for the Chase Sapphire Reserve, $395 for the Capital One Venture X? I don't think you necessarily have to, but if you're in a position where you can, and you're very careful of how you go about it, and you look at all the other creators and see what they say and take everybody's information and take it in and then form your own opinion and see how you're going to utilize them, by all means, I really would just go out and pay these fees. Maybe not $1,844 worth, but I can see you coming in, maybe at 900, or 1,000, because you're going to reap those benefits by using the benefits that the cards have themselves to begin with that are built in. And you're going to see that once you start accumulating points and you go to that really first nice hotel you've always wanted to stay in, or travel business or first class, or not sit at the gate waiting for your flight and you're in the lounge, you're going to be like, damn, why didn't I do this before? I should have listened to Joe back in the day when he said he was 56 and did this. Trust me, guys, it took me forever to get to this point. So, again, if you like anything you've seen in this video, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. Until next time, take care.